question. Can I ask some questions on Russian? Первый вопрос Юрию Борисову. Я хотела бы узнать, была ли какая-то разница в том, как Шон Бейкер создал образ русского мужчины? Чем, вот, по вашему мнению, это отличалось от других режиссеров?
Во-первых, дело не в том, что это русский мужчина, да, потому что мужчина, везде мужчина, как мне кажется, должен быть. А во-вторых, тут дело даже не в том, что он мужчина, а в том, что просто это человек, который находится рядом с другим человеком, да, которому в какой-то Анорой, который в какой-то ситуации плохо, и это очевидно, что и плохо, и очевидно, что она-то сама не сделала ничего плохого, да, и он пытается там разобраться, а когда разобрался, уже пытается просто ей помочь, потому что происходит какая-то дурацкая несправедливость, которую нужно просто исправить. И эта несправедливость просто затягивается в такое длинное приключение. Вот, и это все было очевидно для Шона и для меня, и мы немножко другими вещами занимались, не то чтобы мы конкретно обсуждали, что там нужно нам всем играть. Мы больше как-то занимались тем, как это все так сделать, чтобы это было интересно смотреть, и зрителю было смешно, и чтобы в конце он легко подошел к какому-то смыслу, который можно в конце дать ему поразмышлять о нем. Вот, как-то так.
Спасибо большое.
Спасибо.
Question to Mikey.
Ask me in Russian.
My question is, what do you think is the best feature of the character of Anora that you would like to bring into your personal perspective as Mikey?
She is someone who speaks her mind and isn't afraid to share her emotions in like a very big, grand way. And I kind of admire that, someone who is so passionate about defending themselves and their life and fighting for what she believes in. That's a quality about her that I admire, and I think I could try to implement more into my own life. I think sometimes in situations like that, I take too much time to think and process, and I think I could be like a bit passive at times, which is a complete opposite of Annie and who she is. So that's always been something that I've admired about her.
Thank you so much. Mark, and Russian, English?
Let's speak on English so Mikey will understand.
Yes, I agree. How do you envision the future of Ivan? Did this
like after
what happened? Yes. Like, how do you see his future?
So it's a great question because I thought about it a lot, and I'm thinking about it. So in this movie, this guy, in this journey, he tried to find love and then lose love because he's weak and he wasn't ready to fight against, reality. It was easier to him to run away. It's not about this scene, just run away in the global way. Yes, and not to have a, dialogue on something else. Yeah, and I think you have only one chance to, find real love and find, something, very real and special and unique for yourself. And if you will, lose it, you will lose it. And maybe the whole your life, rest of the life, you will be, maybe you will be, I don't know, successful in something else, but maybe you will be unhappy. And you will think that, oh no, I just lost it because I'm very stupid. But it's, and I think it's about this character, but he will think about it and it will be point of his growing up. He will grow up after this situation.
Thank you very much, guys, and I wish you best of luck.
Привет, я Энни. Нет налички. Идем в банкомат. Что скажешь насчет привата?
Там парнишка просит кого-то с русским языком.
Я ужасно говорю по-русски. Полный кошмар.
Нет, нет. Я просто хотел тебе предложить. Ты хочешь быть только со мной?
15. Налом. Деньги вперед.
Идет?
Идет.
Если я женюсь на американке, мне не придется возвращаться домой.
Ладно. Значит, поженимся. Берешь ли ты Анора в мужья этого красавчика?
Это моя жена,
Да я видел его пару недель назад. Не был он женат.
Ну, ты ведь сказал своим.
Иванжан, открой дверь, пожалуйста.
Ваня, мне вызвать полицию?
Не надо.
Ты женился на какой-то проститутке?
Что?
Это она? Иван! Иван!
Как тебе все это досталось?
Послушай, ты совсем не знаешь этого парня.
Ваня?
Это афера, а не брак. И мы аннулируем
Афера,
его
а не брак?
немедленно.
Офигеть! Будь мужиком, поговори со мной!
Это что, у тебя бабочка?
Да, это бабочка.
Ты настоящая леди.
Я знаю.
А я себе доллар набила прямо как шлюха.
Анора.
Although it's not explicitly addressed about the cultural identity of Anora, her name is quite popular in Central Asia, and a lot of audiences would associate her with the region. Do you think it could probably cause some problems with the distribution in the Central Asian region?
I don't know about that specifically, whether it's going to cause problems with distribution. I think it's more of our subject matter and
Yes.
perhaps our depiction of that subject matter that may. I think Anora, is a name that actually comes from many different backgrounds and many different meanings. And when I was doing my research, trying to figure out, I didn't want to say specifically where Annie's family is from, but she's ethnic Russian that probably came from a post-Soviet country, and therefore, that name could mean different things in different countries. So I don't know how they'll interpret that, but I think it's important to put out there that she's supposed to be ethnic Russian.
These days there are so many, especially this year, there are so many significant stories about strong women in a very diverse and very unconventional ways. And do you think it's because there is a cultural shift or paradigm is changing how we celebrate and perceive strength in women? And how does Anora contribute to that conversation?
Well, I think it's always important to for my protagonists to have agency and to have strength and be fighting against all odds. And I think that this is a normal way of putting forth an underdog story. But obviously, right now with looking at history and the treatment of women over the last century and film and media in general, it is a refreshing thing, I think, to empower our female protagonists. I think it's important, and still obviously, and not obviously avoid the struggle that they still have.
The characters they come from so different backgrounds, like they have different universes, and it kind of creates this contrast and clashes. So my question is, was it intentional just to through that clashes to create a platform for maybe communication? And did you ever think that this is a narrative of a larger societal dynamics these days?
Yeah, most definitely. I that's what makes, okay, so first off, it takes place in New York, which is a melting pot, right? So you're going to have cultures coming together, and sometimes clashing, sometimes communicating, sometimes miscommunicating, sometimes not communicating. And I think one of the themes I was dealing with this film is communication. I mean, like, that's why, you know, I have 3 different languages going on. Sometimes people can understand one another, sometimes they can't. And then the last scene in the whole film, there being finally some real communication, but it's non-verbal, you know?
Yes.
It was all building to that. But yeah, and I actually really enjoy the clashing of, you know, that's what I find really interesting, when 2 people aren't communicating right, or they're miscommunicating. I find that very, very interesting.
So about this last scene, when you said that it was not verbal, but
Yeah.
mostly, so is it again in the DNA of the cultures that they would understand each other?
That's yeah. I think there might be an element there, and I think that I have heard from, you know, feedback from both sex workers and then also, you know, Russian Americans that there's something there. There's that something that directly applies to them, but at the same time, I just see them as 2 human beings finally coming together and communicating that way. And so I see it less as like the culture and more as like just what makes us human.
Thank you so much.